You can boost your sales productivity in just 30 minutes every day. Your sales productivity will determine how your month will end, how your quarter will end, and how the year will end for you. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to show you how to boost your sales productivity using a power routine for just 30 minutes every day. I like to stay to the end of this video because I'm going to show you an exact script of what your morning routine should look like. First of all, a lot of research has been done to talk about the importance of having a routine when it comes to productivity and early morning routine. Some research say things like when you start out early in the morning, chances of you increasing your productivity at the end of the day is higher. When you have a fixed routine every day, your success becomes predictable. You're able to avoid the unnecessary distractions, able to set your mind on things that matter and make you more productive. Somebody listen to this video, you're probably somebody who is interested in personal development. You believe in personal growth. If not, you'll probably be watching something that's just entertaining. You wouldn't take out time to watch a program like this from beginning to end. Now, people like you in your category, you already know that how you start the day a lot of times affects you for the rest of the day. For example, if you start out the day listening to bad news, you know that for the rest of the day, it will tweak your mood, it will affect your mood and affect how you perform for the rest of the day. Now, why morning routines? That's the first part of what I'm going to talk to you about. Why morning routines? First of all, one of the greatest challenges and greatest things that affect salespeople is what we call mental sabotage. Mental sabotage. And I'm talking about this because, see, having trained over 23,000 salespeople across 5 countries, having worked in an organization where I was able to grow a portfolio from $3.5 million to over $11 million in less than 11 months, having brought in 21 HNIs from my organization in just a month, did a sales competition, I was sent to the World Cup and all expense pay trip. Having done all these things, I've seen a trend. There's mental sabotage in selling. And let me tell you what mental sabotage is. Number one, mental sabotage has to do with there are seeds of self-doubts that from time to time are planted in us, consciously or unconsciously. And these seeds of self-doubts tell you things like you're not good enough, you'll never be able to meet your sales targets. The second thing is fear of rejection. These are the three things behind mental sabotage that affect all salespeople. The second thing is fear of rejection. The third thing is distractions. When you're going to now focus on less important things and start to spend more time on social media, start to spend more time maybe posting. There are people who they have sales targets, they have things they're working on, or they are salespeople trying to make sales, and because they are not doing the most important activities, in their mind they feel, let me just at least be posting on WhatsApp status. Let me at least be doing something so that let me justify my time and say to myself that at least I've tried, I've made a contribution. But you see, if the contribution is not significant and not the right type of contribution, then won't sales success. So those are three things that affect salespeople: the seeds of self-doubt soon in their minds, fear of rejection, and distractions. Now, the morning routines you set up for yourself would help you guard against these things. There's a difference between being shot and trying to heal the body, and having a shield to prevent the bullets from coming in. So one person can be shot, and when he's shot, maybe with a gun or with an arrow, there's a shield he uses to protect himself. Another person too is shot, and when he's shot, the bullet or the arrow hits him, and he goes for treatment. Now, which is better? The person with the shield, meaning you prevent it from happening in the first place. Setting up a morning routine prevents you from being exposed to these three mental sabotage traits that I've mentioned to you right now. Now, let me walk you through what my morning routine used to be like when I worked in an organization and I was able to meet the sales targets. And I will really tie it to the morning routine. And let me give you some of them. Number one, so funny. I know you're surprised what the first one is. Number one, I brushed my teeth the night before. Now, brushing my teeth the night before prevented me from being under pressure to rush out of the house early in the morning and trying to take care of my hygiene in the fastest way possible. It took away that pressure from me because if I didn't brush my teeth the night before in the morning, I had to spend a lot of time trying to get myself cleaned up as much as possible. When I did that the night before, it reduced all the pressure and all the stress when it came to me getting up early to rush out to leave my house. Number two, quick exercises. Why? I used to do quick exercises every morning because I worked in a high pressure sales job. With all the environment was pretty much toxic. The the demand for the sales targets was there, really high pressure. So I felt the pressure, I needed to put pressure on myself first through exercise before I got into the real pressure. Number three, affirmations. While I walked from my estate all the way to the bus park or to the bus stop, where I was to enter a bus to get to the office then, I would spend time doing affirmations, saying certain things to myself to boost my confidence. Number four, I would sleep in the bus on my way to work. Number five, when I get into the office very early, work is to start around 7:30. I'm in by 6 o'clock because I stayed pretty much far from where I was working then. I would spend time to pray and I would read scriptures. Number six, I'll come up with a to-do list. Once I get into the office, I come up with a to-do list of all the things I want to do that day, including ad hoc activities. What we call ad hoc activities. Now, ad hoc activities are activities that are not your responsibility as a salesperson, but sometimes these things are dropped on you, maybe from bosses, maybe from supervisors, maybe from another department. And it may not really be directly sales related, but it could be an operational activity. And for some reason, you just have to get these things done. So coming up with my to-do list will help me strike a balance between managing the ad hoc activities, maybe certain types of reports, maybe certain types of emails, coming up with the activities and focusing on the things that really matter as regards my responsibilities. Then number seven, I'll check my emails. Now, this routine I've just shared with you right now worked for me well and helps me get the results I wanted. Now, I'm going to give you a generic routine because you see, your circumstances may not be like the circumstances I had. However, when you're trying to set up your morning routine, there are things that must be there, and you want to make sure that these things are present. Now, I'm going to recommend what I call your 30-minute sales morning routine. Number one, what's my first point? Start the night before. Start the night before. Now, if you start to prepare the night before for your day, you find out that in the morning, many of the decisions you have to make, you would have made them already. A lot of times, the early morning decisions are already taken away from our creativity. Is already giving us some level of mental fatigue because decision making brings stress on the mind, stress on the brain. You want to preserve your decision making power for more important activities like when you go for sales meetings, how you navigate objections, how you navigate conversations. So you want to preserve that energy for more important discussions. So you start the night before by getting your hygiene set. Like I've always said, brush your teeth the night before. I know there are people who are not used to brushing twice a day. But when you brush twice a day, you find out that your chances of bad breath are almost impossible, except you have a hole in your teeth, of course, which you have to go to the dentist to get resolved. Because most of the smell and most of the dirt from the mouth of salespeople come from the tongue. And a lot of times, if when you step through the night, the morning period is not enough for you because you're in a hurry to go and close. It's not enough to get your tongue cleaned as much as possible. So you want to spend time doing that the night before. Then in the morning, you can just do a touch up and it just helps you get ready faster. Because see, the decision of even brushing, there's some decision, there's a decision when it comes to brushing, how long to spend here, how long to spend there. You're already drawing from your mental energy. I want to preserve that for more important conversations. Then, of course, your hygiene, right? If you need to shave, any other thing you need to do, you want to do it the night before. Then your clothes, please, your clothes. If I'm wearing a suit now, it's always better you make decisions on the kind of suit you want to wear, the color of tie, color of pocket hanky, which is compulsory for all salespeople, of course. If you want to make that decision the night before. In fact, in presentation skills, I attended some presentation skills trainings many years ago. And when we talk about presentation skills, they always emphasize that when you have a presentation the next day, choose the clothes you want to wear the night before. So that way you're able to wake up ready. You save your decision-making power for other things. So the second thing you want to make sure you have in your routine is meditation or affirmations. What you're going to be saying to yourself every day. You want to have something you're going to say to yourself. Draft an affirmation, because this will help you prevent the mental sabotage of distractions, the mental sabotage of fear of rejection, all the seeds of doubt. You want to treat it, you want to kill it every day. Every day you go out to meet people, every day you listen to the news, the bad seeds are sown into you unconsciously, whether you like it or not. And every day you have daily affirmations to yourself, you're able to root out those seeds before they can spring up and get matured on the inside. Number 3, your personal development. Going through some level of sales training. I remember on my the first scenario I gave you was when I didn't have a car and I was entering a bus. When I got a car and I was working, still in sales, when I'm driving to the office in the morning and driving back home, I used to play audio programs by Brian Tracy. And I'll let those audio programs play all through the trip. I wouldn't listen to the radio. Why? Because I was not yet satisfied with my sales results. When you get satisfied with your sales results and you're happy with the kind of output you're producing, you can now start to feed on other things that you like, which is maybe music while going to work, listen to the radio while going to work. But before then, focus more on your personal development. So when you get to the office, if you can't do it in transit on your way to the office, when you get to the office, log into your academy or go on, come or thank God for this program we have, 6:30 a.m. every morning. The reason why we set this up is because we wanted salespeople to, on their way to the office, have something to listen to stir themselves up, so that when they get to the office, at least they have something they can make reference to. Even if they couldn't participate live, they have the recorded version to watch as well. You can also take advantage of podcasts, take advantage of books. Just make sure that every day you're investing in yourself through personal development, because that way your selling skills become sharper, you become more effective, and you'll be able to sell effectively. Then the next thing is product knowledge. You want to spend time on product knowledge, no matter how little. Just refresh your mind on the primary features, secondary features, meaning what you have in common with your competition, what differentiates you from your competition. Look at making sure that you know all the details of what you sell. Don't just look at it on the surface level. Maybe you have a brochure in your office of all the products you sell with all the features and benefits. Don't just look at it on the surface level. Get more information and know it at a deeper level, because that would affect your confidence. You see, confidence emanates from competence. The more competent you are, the more confidence you would have. And product knowledge boosts your confidence significantly. So spend time mastering the products, spend time knowing the products. Also, there are things you need to memorize. For example, your testimonials. If you don't really have testimonials of your own personal testimonials, you want to make sure that the testimonials you've gotten from your colleagues or from your organization or from your company's websites, for example, make sure that you memorize these testimonials. So you want to actually practice on your own. Practice saying the features and benefits. Practice sharing testimonials. I remember when I was trying to memorize the products we were selling then, I used to draw cartoons, right? Because in order for me to recall, I felt like I needed to see something. Because I'm a very visual person. So I would actually draw cartoons, just try to depict the features and benefits of what I was trying to sell. So that when I was trying to recall it, I could recall it in images and pictures. So I did that to help myself. And every morning I would actually go through and revise and see these drawings I did, just to make sure that I memorize the features and the benefits and were a part of me. You don't want to be in front of a prospect, and while you're in front of the prospect, you're trying to recall. It will affect how you can sell convincingly. It will affect how you can handle the objections. It will affect how you can close. So you want to know the products by heart, thoroughly. Then finally, you want to have a to-do list. I said you want to start the night before, taking care of your hygiene and your clothes, making emphasis to your mouth. I said spend time with affirmations or do some level of meditation. Personal development, listen to these sessions or podcasts or books. I said product knowledge sessions, memorize your products, know the things you want to make sure that are a part of you when you engage your prospects. Get your to-do list. Now, your to-do list must contain the following. Number one, see, there are many things that could be in your to-do list, especially if tasks have been handed down to you from your bosses or from colleagues, or you have some other responsibilities tied to what you do as a salesperson. There's no excuse. The ball must not drop. With a to-do list, the ball can remain where it's supposed to be. But as you plan the things you need to do for the day, you want to make sure that the following things are present in your to-do list. Number one, your set time for cold calling. Cold calling is one of the greatest forms of sales training. This means that the better you become at cold calling, the better you become at selling. Why? Because whoever can sell the appointments most likely can sell the product. Because if I can convince a prospect to give me his time, I most likely can convince him to give me his money. If I can't convince you to give me time, just 4 minutes or 5 minutes to meet with you, even if I don't know you, how will I convince you to give me money? He that is faithful in little time is faithful in much money. So you want to become good at booking appointments to prospects. So the better you are at cold calling, the better you are at getting them to give you their time, the better you'll be at selling every time. So cold calling also helps you handle rejection. Because think about it, if you have a list of over 200 people and you're calling them, maybe there may just be an opportunity for 10 to 15 meetings from there. Maybe about 100, their phones are reachable. So people will tell you, I don't know you, I'm not interested, I'll get back to you. And they will say all sorts. But your ability to take it will help you when it's time to face the rejection that also comes from selling. The second thing you need to always have on your list is follow-up. Make sure that there's a plan for you to follow up people who you had meetings with previously. And finally, you should have meetings. Make sure that you have meetings scheduled in your to-do list. Then have a plan that after your meetings, you want to document the feedback from the meetings, whether it's on a CRM or whether it's in a notepad. Now, if you have these three things on your to-do list, it will make you a lot more effective. So I've been able to show you why morning routines, the morning routines I used to use, why morning routines are key, and what I recommend you should use as your morning routine as a salesperson. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. By the way, Happy New Year and wish you a great 2025. Please remember to share and get others to join us for our sessions tomorrow. Talk to you soon.